In the relentless race to dominate the future of digital payments, the entire crypto industry has been chasing a seductive, yet fundamentally flawed metric. For years, the narrative was deceptively simple. The fastest blockchain wins. It was a horsepower war, a drag race measured in transactions per second. The logic seemed sound. To replace the aging rails of traditional finance, you needed to be faster, cheaper, and more efficient. And for a long time, one name echoed loudest in that arena. Solana, with its promise of light-speed finality, wore the crown, capturing the imagination of developers and the capital of investors. It became the benchmark, the gold standard for raw throughput. But we are now in a new era, and the foundational questions are changing. The year is 2026, and the conversation is no longer just about who is the fastest on a perfect day, on a clean track. The far more critical question is, who still works when the real world gets messy? Because in the high-stakes world of global finance, where trillions of dollars move every single day, speed without absolute predictable reliability isn't innovation, it's a catastrophic risk. An outage isn't an inconvenience, it's a potential market-wide failure. A stalled transaction isn't just a poor user experience. It's a breach of trust that can evaporate overnight. The promise of a decentralized future cannot be built on a foundation that cracks under pressure, that falters during peak demand, or that requires a restart when the network is congested. The industry is maturing, and with it, the demands of institutional-grade users who require guarantees, not just possibilities. And it is into this demanding new landscape that a serious challenger is now entering the arena, built from the ground up with a different philosophy. A challenger engineered not just for speed, but for resilience. SUI. In the world of finance, a quiet but monumental battle is underway. Today, we're breaking down the real-time payments war, a conflict that will define the flow of money heading into 2026 and beyond. Forget the fleeting headlines of meme coins or the speculative frenzy of digital collectibles. This isn't about hype. It's about the fundamental architecture of our economic future. We're talking about the invisible rails that will move trillions of dollars in global payroll, facilitate instantaneous corporate settlements, and power every tap-to-pay transaction in our daily lives. The stakes are astronomical, and the winner won't just be a successful company. It will become a core utility of the modern world, as essential as the internet itself. For years, the narrative seemed settled. Many analysts, developers, and investors believed Solana was the obvious heir apparent. It arrived with a compelling promise, a high-throughput engine, theoretically capable of tens of thousands of transactions per second, seemingly built from the ground up for mass adoption. It was positioned as the blockchain that could finally handle the fire hose of global commercial activity, the undisputed champion of speed and scale. But in the world of critical financial infrastructure, theoretical speed is only part of the equation. Reliability is paramount. A fast engine that repeatedly stalls under pressure, that falters during peak demand, isn't a sign of dominance. It's a critical vulnerability. When payroll for millions of workers is on the line, or when global markets depend on instantaneous settlement, any downtime, no matter how brief, creates cascading failures. This fragility has opened the door for a new contender, one built on a different philosophy of resilience. To be clear, Solana is fast. Under ideal conditions, it's one of the fastest major chains in crypto. But global finance doesn't operate under ideal conditions. It operates under stress, spikes, and unpredictable demand. Imagine it's Friday. 50,000 employees are waiting for payroll to clear. If the network slows down or stalls, speed no longer matters. Reliability does. This is where SUI enters the conversation, not as just another incremental improvement, but as a fundamental rethinking of how a blockchain should operate at scale. While others focused on making a single lane of traffic faster, the architects behind SUI asked a more profound question. Why does everything need to be in the same lane at all? The answer lies in how transactions are processed. Most blockchains, including high-performance chains like Solana, still rely heavily on sequential processing. Think of it as a global ledger where every single transaction, no matter how small or unrelated, must be ordered and agreed upon by the entire network. This creates a universal bottleneck. When the network gets busy, everything slows down, like a traffic jam on a single-lane highway. SUI's radical departure is its object-based data model. Instead of a single global state, SUI tracks the relationships between individual data objects. This allows it to instantly identify which transactions are independent of each other. Simple transfers that don't compete for the same resources don't need to wait for global consensus. They can be validated and executed in parallel, on separate, dedicated lanes. It's the difference between a single cashier and a supermarket full of self-checkout counters. This isn't just a theoretical speed boost. It's a paradigm shift in network architecture. For the demanding world of real-time payments, where millions of transactions must happen concurrently and with finality, that architectural difference isn't just an advantage. It could become the decisive factor for adoption. For years, the industry accepted the blockchain trilemma: speed, security, decentralization. Pick two. But SUI's design challenges that assumption by reducing unnecessary consensus overhead. Meanwhile, Solana continues pushing performance at the edge of what its architecture allows. The question for 2026 is simple: which design scales more reliably under real-world pressure? By 2026, the payments war won't be decided by marketing. It will be decided by uptime, consistency, and institutional trust. Real-time payments demand something simple: the transaction must work, every time. And this is why many builders are now quietly evaluating multi-chain and bridge strategies between Solana and SUI. Solana proved crypto can be fast. SUI is attempting to prove it can be fast and dependable at global scale. The real winner of the 2026 payments war hasn't been crowned yet, but the battle lines are now clear. Stay sharp.